Good afternoon, everyone. Introducing Janus and how to automate the move-in process with contactless rentals. Janus will cover the benefits of automated technology that allows owners operators to implement a fully automated move-in process for their storage customers. Customer behavior is dictating that full online and mobile options are not only important to them, but convenient. What does this mean for you as an owner operator? The ability to capture more customers after hours for rentals and move-ins, charging a premium for smart units, and raising your rental fees to be inclusive of a technology fee. Hello, everyone. My name is Jessica Johnson. I'm the Director of Operations for the Storage Business Owners Alliance, the SBOA. I'd like to welcome all of you who have joined today's webinar with our vendor partner, Janus International Group. Before we introduce our presenter, Terry Bagley, I'd like to talk you through a moment about the SBOA. The SBOA now has more than 6,000 member facilities, which results in enhanced buying power for our members. By joining together, our members are able to use this strength in numbers to obtain more favorable pricing on goods and services they use every day. Our vendor partners can offer these cost-saving opportunities to our members, which results in lower costs and increased profitability. Our SBOA membership is always free, and along with these discounts, the SBOA is a great resource for owners and operators. Our complimentary pre-recorded webinars provide useful information on a variety of self-storage topics and are always accessible on our website for your convenience. The SBOA also offers great savings on award-winning tenant insurance program, SBOA Tenant Insurance. Our sister company, List Self Storage, helps self-storage professionals list, locate, and purchase storage facilities on a national basis. At this time, I'd like to introduce one of our proud vendor partners, Janus, and today's presenter, Terry Bagley. Terry is the president of the Smart Entry and Facility Automation Division at Janus. Janus International Group is the leading global manufacturer and supplier of turnkey self-storage commercial and industrial building solutions, including roll-up and swing doors, hallway systems, relocatable storage units, and facility and door automation technologies. Terry, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay, well, thanks, Jessica. Appreciate that, and it's exciting to be able to talk to and present to the SBOA members. So, as you mentioned, we're going to talk today about contactless storage rentals and how to automate the move-in process at your self-storage facilities. Contactless storage rentals, as I think about it, is really the commercial version of social distancing given current times. And as I also think about those two terms, I like the idea of contactless because I think it portrays convenience versus social distancing, maybe conveying fear. So let's talk about contactless storage rentals. And you've already heard a little bit about me, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot on this other than to say I've been in the self-storage industry now for 18 years, and I really love this industry, and I look forward to a time when we can all be together again at the next conference or trade show. I miss those. So let's talk a little bit about today about what you're going to learn. And let me get my mouse back here. There we go. We're going to focus on 5 areas. The first one is why it's important to provide a fully automated move-in experience to meet today's storage customers where they are, especially given current circumstances. Secondly, we're going to talk about how technology has improved the tenant onboarding experience and what that means to owner-operators today, especially as the bar really has been raised. We'll focus on automation technology that's available today, and that incorporates really 3 main elements: websites, the onboarding experience, and then the entry point and individual unit access. And as we touch on that, we'll hit our 4th point, which is how smart locks at the unit door allow for contactless rentals and automate the overlock and lock check processes. And then we'll speak briefly about implementation considerations. All right, so why are automated or contactless move-ins important? Let's talk about that in kind of 3 pieces. First of all, present events are increasing and driving customers and site manager behavior, and creating even more need for contactless transactions. It's not that we haven't seen this before and needed it, but it's providing even more emphasis. So if we look today and even in the past year or two, we have some great examples of companies that are setting the bar very high in terms of this contactless concept outside of the self-storage industry. One being Amazon, which I think most people have had that experience in terms of ordering products from Amazon. But today we look at what's happening with Walmart, Sam's Club, and we see retail businesses that are adapting to stay open and to survive. Certainly we can look to examples in the restaurant business, or even in various other industries like home products like Home Depot and Lowe's are adapting very quickly to provide contactless experience for their customers. More specifically for the self-storage industry, a number of the REITs have formally, and most of them have all done it informally, have announced the ability to provide contactless rentals. So that idea and that ability to provide contactless storage rentals is definitely being espoused by the larger accounts that are out there. Now, the second thing that goes along with contactless move-ins and why they're important is it allows you as an owner-operator to reach customers that you heretofore may not have had the ability to reach. That specifically are tenants that are looking for after hours or after office hours move-ins, I should say. And we're seeing customers get somewhere between 15 and 20% of their transactions, their move-in transactions, after office hours, and that's increasing. We'll actually talk today about an example of one of our clients that's seeing a much higher percentage of after office hours move-ins. We're also seeing site manager behavior changes. In talking to many of our clients and what they're experiencing with their operations and tenants, we've also talked about their site managers, and they have site managers that are very leery about working in a retail environment. Some are quitting, or some are asking for reduced hours. Some are actually, locking the rental office door and making the customers call them, through the glass. And others are, companies are installing plastic barriers to protect their site managers. So, this idea of contactless move-ins is important from a site manager behavior as well. So let's now talk about what customers want and why convenient self-service and online options have become so critical. If we look back just at 2017, 3 years ago, in a survey of 2,000 US consumers, 88% of them indicated that they preferred online booking. And that was 3 years ago. Recent events, I think, have heightened the need to have contactless or online rentals and bookings. And it's really, I think, in the end, all about reaching your customers where they are and providing them with a great online and onboarding experience. Again, another example, let's talk about takeout food, which hopefully most of us are experiencing right now, given current events. We're trying to support restaurants in our local areas. I have 2 national chains that I can give you examples of. One where it's easy to order and to reorder, and the process is great. The other one I've found is a lot more difficult, and the process that they have and the logistics they have for doing that have made it to the point where I don't prefer to even use them for takeout. So those are things that our customers, are looking at, and they're expecting, a great experience and the ability to be able to onboard and participate in a contactless move-in rental. So I thought we'd break this up a little bit with my next slide, and I'm hoping that this will work just fine. I wanted to show you a brief video. It's a funny clip from Seinfeld illustrating how customers hate to wait and what they really think when you don't meet their expectations.
Seinfeld, you made a reservation for a mid-size, and she's a small.
Oh, I'm sorry, we have no mid-size available at the moment.
I don't understand. I made a reservation. Do you have my reservation?
Yes, we do. Unfortunately, we ran out of cars.
But the reservation keeps the car here. That's why you have the reservation.
I know why we have reservations.
I don't think you do. If you did, I'd have a car. You know how to take the reservation, you just don't know how to hold it. And that's really the most important part of the reservation, the holding. Anybody can just take them.
Let me speak with my supervisor.
Here we go. The supervisor. You know what she's saying over there?
What?
Hey, Marge, see those two people over there? They think I'm talking to you. So you pretend like you're talking to me. Okay, now you start talking.
Oh, you mean like this? So it looks like I'm saying something, but I'm not really saying anything at all?
You say something else, and they won't yell at me because they thought I was checking with you.
Okay, I think. I'm sorry, my supervisor says there's nothing we can do.
Yeah, it looks like you were in a real conversation over there.
We do have a compact if you would like that.
Fine.
All right. Well, we have a blue Ford Escort for you, Mr. Seinfeld. Would you like insurance?
Yeah, you better give me the insurance because I am going to beat the hell out of it.
All right. Well, I hope you found that as funny as I did, and it certainly emphasizes the importance of the onboarding experience of our customers. Of course, that one was not contactless, but I think it illustrates the point very well. So let's talk about what technology is available today to provide contactless or no contact rentals. And really, I would lump it into three elements. And you as owner operators, many of you are providing tenants with various ways to interact and rent from you. And as we focus on these three elements, I'd have you each consider what you're doing in regards to this. The first one is website rentals that would include electronic leasing, unit selection, and options for tenant insurance. Some of the better ones that I've seen out there provide the ability for the customers to assess what size of unit they need, so that they're not immediately having to, transfer units once they get to you. Secondly, rental centers where customers can use a virtual center or a kiosk or a smartphone to actually fully execute the rental, either in the rental center itself or outside of the rental center, outside of the facility. And then the last aspect of it is the ability to add smart entry and smart unit locks to provide tenant access to the facility, to the smart facility, and to a smart unit that would go along with them using their smartphones. And certainly we don't want to forget about, payments and ongoing communications with those customers as well, but we're really focused today about the move-in process. Okay, well, now let me show you a very short video of how technology has improved the tenant onboarding experience. In this case, you'll find that the rental can be done online and in the store with a text message sent with a link that the customer can download. And let me show you what that experience is like.
The cool thing about this lock, from anywhere in the world, they can send that key and give it to that person.
person, and then they can take it away. And it's so easy for the people to do that.
Okay, so what happens now?
The system is going to auto-generate a text message to you. So that text message is going to be a link to download our Comfort Storage mobile app.
Look at that. Yeah. So I go here.
Link our app.
Oh, good. And I'm going to allow it. So this is how I use it. Okay, that's good. It's so exciting.
Like the kid in the candy store, it's Christmas Day and there's the kid and the gifts are under the trees. With that, first the app comes and they get all that, and then if they need to key share, we just hand walk them through it, see the people down there, press it and add, and it's just like complete ease of use, ease of setup. We have come across a few tenants with flip phones, but we have the ability to send them their 6-digit temporary passcode and sync a fob for them, and that's no problem.
I'm happy when I see the tenants come in and they see that on their phone, the number, the unit they're in, and they hit that. You can just see the glow on their face.
Okay, well, hopefully that wasn't too choppy for you guys. I think with all of us working from our home offices these days, the internet gets a little bit overtaxed, but hopefully the audio came through just fine on that. Let me give you an example of 3 different companies that are doing various forms of contactless rentals, storage rentals. And in doing so, I'll give you a sense of where they're having their website designed and managed, what property management software they're using, and then what they're using for their access control, facility and unit access control. So the first one here up in the left-hand corner is National Self-Storage. They use a product called Tenant. Their property management software is StoreEdge, and their access is the Noki Smart Entry System. And they have the ability to take customer onboarding to the next level in terms of allowing them mobile onboarding, in the rental center onboarding, or on their website. And it's really quite an amazing experience. And they're in a market where they have a retirement area, and they have customers that obviously are older and have had great experiences with that solution. The next one down in the middle is Keylock Storage out of Reno, Nevada. They also use the Tenant solution for websites, and their property management software is Self-Storage Manager, and their access is with Janus Noki Smart Entry System. And in their case, they can do similarly, and we're going to see a video from that facility here shortly that describes how the process works for them from an onboarding and contactless rental scenario. And then the last one down on the left-hand corner here is an operator that uses the name StoreEase. Their website is done by Automatit, and their PMS is StoreEdge, and their access control is the Noki Smart Entry System. And they have gone to virtually remote rentals, so they don't have anybody on site at all. They are able to interface with their customer virtually using video technology. So if the customer needs help, they can contact them via video. And clearly, they've taken contactless rentals to an even further degree without anybody in the rental center. Okay, let's talk about the third element. That's the one that's near and dear to us in terms of what has been historically the missing link, which is individual unit mobile access and really automating the facility access as well. This picture here is a picture of a facility actually in Stockholm, Sweden. The website for them is done by a local developer. Their property software management solution is Store Manager from Radical Systems. It's not a provider that we have here in the United States, but they do a great job. and the access is provided by the Noki Smart Entry system. This facility is actually a remotely managed site. There's nobody on site there. They now have 4 facilities open with many more in the works, and they utilize the ability to access the facility and individual units via smartphone and wireless key fob to its fullest advantage. All right, so I want to shift gears for a second here and talk technology with you again, focusing on the third element. We talked about the websites, we've talked about the property management software and technology in the rental centers itself. And now let's focus on that third element, which is facility and individual unit mobile access. And as we talk about technology, I want to do that in the context of technology is iterative. So if you think about the technology that you're using today, the smartphone that you have is certainly not the smartphone you had 2 years ago, let alone 5 years ago or 10 years ago. The Wi-Fi that you're using in your office or your home is, similar experience. There's constant iteration. And the same is true of technology and self-storage. And today I'm really pleased to introduce our latest product. We call it the NokiOne. It's our all-in-one exterior or outside of the door product solution. It's our newest addition to our Noki Smart Entry system family, which includes the Noki Volt, which is our premium low voltage powered solution, our Noki Pad, and our Noki Elevate solutions. So just briefly, for those of you that are familiar with our Noki Volt solution, the NokiOne solution is different in a number of ways. The first one is our Noki Volt solution was inside the door. This solution is outside of the door, and it's which really makes it ideal for retrofits. In fact, the real focus of our NokiOne solution is for retrofits. It is from a power standpoint, it is wholly battery powered versus the Noki Volt solution being powered by low voltage wiring and then backed up by a battery. The battery life on this particular product is a 2-year battery life. We've also included the thermal motion sensing capability in this product, which is actually on the inside of the unit. And then the technology that we're using specific to the battery and to the design of the product allows this product to work flawlessly in extreme temperatures from anywhere from about 30 degrees below Fahrenheit to about 160 degrees above. So with our other Noki Volt solution, we do have certainly facilities that have temperature extremes, maybe not to that level, and it is inside the door. So we had to make sure with this product that we could work in even more extreme temperature ranges. All right, so let's talk about this new NokiOne product, the Smart Lock, and the benefits for both self-storage operators and the tenants that are using their facilities. And you can see the product here on the right-hand side of the screen. In this case, you can see that it's essentially mounted to the door curtain, just like you would mount, and in fact, in the same place that you would mount a standard hasp or latch onto the door. And in this case, there's an LED light that's indicating to the customer that at that point the door is locked. So let's talk about those operational benefits to operators. First of all, I've already mentioned that it's easy retrofittable. This is going to be a product that we'll be able to install much more quickly. And in fact, for those that are doing new construction or might be doing a door replacement project, which a lot of folks are doing these days as their facilities are aging out, we have the ability to actually install the NokiOne lock on a door at the factory and actually ship you the door with the lock already installed. As with our Noki Volt product, it secures all units, including your vacant units. It does come with our 24/7 live support, which we think is awesome. We've got great people that are providing support to the operators out there. It does feature the ability, as does our NokiOne product, to do automated overlocking and release, and also helps you automate the process of lock checks as well. And with for many of our customers, in fact, most of our customers, it provides the opportunity to upsell the units that they have this solution on, or their entire facility, if they have that as the case, as premium units. And as I mentioned earlier, it does use battery technology, and the battery has a multi-year battery life and can be replaced from outside of the door. We have a little compartment on the NokiOne product that allows us to easily get access to that lock and replace that battery. Now let's switch gears and talk about the customer benefits of the new NokiOne product. As with our entire product family, it allows the tenant to access the facility and unlock the lock at their unit and view all of that activity with their mobile phone. So we're truly providing mobile access. They don't have a smartphone, just like with our NokiVolt solution. They can use a wireless Bluetooth key fob. It also allows them to do what I think is one of the most important features of our product family, the Noki Smart Entry solution, and that is to share a digital key in the app and actually revoke that digital key in the app at any time. And there's no keys to forget, and there's no more lock cutting or drilling, and it fully automates the move-in process for the tenants as that third element, if you will, to allow a contactless storage rental. All right, so let's talk, and I've got another video to show you, just a short one, about meeting customers where they are. We've talked about the three elements of doing contactless storage rentals, being able to provide online rentals, whether on the website or on a mobile device, or with a self-service rental station in an office, or with a traditional in-office rental with a site manager. And in this particular case, on this facility, I wanted to point out before we played the video that 40% of their customers have moved in from fully online storage rentals, which is a phenomenal number. And this facility is located actually in Reno, Nevada. So let me play the video for you.
I'm AJ Osborne, president, owner of Keylock Storage. We're here at our Reno, Nevada location. This location was a conversion from a super Kmart. We converted it into a full indoor self-storage facility with outdoor parking. There's also indoor RV parking, and we have a drive-through that allows our tenants to drive into and up to their storage facility, unload, and access their unit at any time. They can also rent online via their cell phone. It is fully integrated with the customer through a technology called Noki. Our customers are able to rent and access their unit whenever they feel like it online.
Okay, well, that gives you an idea of how those elements can come together, in this case at Keylock Storage in Reno, Nevada, which is a beautiful facility. If you're ever going through there, take the opportunity to go and check it out. All right, last couple slides, and then we'll get to some Q&A. I did want to make sure, as we introduced our NokiOne product as part of our Noki Smart Entry family of products, to discuss briefly implementation considerations. The first thing that I wanted to point out is these solutions, for most of our customers, have provided them either the ability to compete better with other facilities around them, and more often than not, the ability to charge a premium for smart units. We also have customers that are using revenue management techniques and capabilities in their property management software to raise the rents on their premium units. And we have customers that are also actually assessing a technology fee, and the customer feedback on that has really been great in the sense that they understand they're getting this new technology that allows them to do rentals in a way that's different than that have been done previously, and allowing them to do contactless rentals. The other thing I would point out is these solutions now for many of the insurance providers out there provide for the potential insurance discounts and cost segregation benefits to allow you to accelerate your depreciation on the investment in the solution. Now, let's talk about, especially with our NokiOne product, what the impact is for both facilities where you have new construction and facilities where you have an existing facility, and how that implementation might go. In terms of new construction, we have, as I mentioned earlier, the ability to manufacture and ship the smart locks pre-installed in the door. So essentially when we do the door and hallway installation with new construction, or even with additions or expansions, the lock's already installed, and our installers are just essentially assigning it to the individual door and integrating it in with property management software that you might be using. But again, the focus of this product is really on existing facilities and facilities that are aging out there. So the first thing is that if we're doing a door replacement project, which we're doing more and more of as facilities are aging out and doors are aging out, we have the ability to ship the smart lock pre-installed in the door, or we can do essentially a hasp replacement, because the NokiOne product essentially replaces the hasp on the outside of the door and fits right into where most hasps are already mounted on the door. And then using our Noki Smart Entry system, we can also automate your entry points. So that could be your gate, man door, slider door, overhead door, magnetically lock control door, anything that has an electronic lock today, we can tie into the Noki Smart Entry system. So with that, let me just review what we've talked about, and then we'll get to the Q&A. We've touched on why it's important to provide fully automated move-in experiences to today's storage customers. In other words, contactless rentals. We've talked about how technology can improve the onboarding experience and the three elements that are necessary in order to do that. And those elements are available with automation technology that's available out in the marketplace today. And then, of course, we've focused lastly on how smart entry and smart locks at the unit door can allow for fully contactless rentals and automate your overlocking and release and lock check processes. And then we touched briefly on the implementation considerations in terms of using this technology and doing contactless storage rentals. So with that, Jessica, I'm going to bring you back in. I think we've got some questions that you have for me that I'd love to hear and see if I can answer.
Yes, I sure do have some questions, and thank you for all of that information. It's great stuff. My first question is, how many storage units do your customers typically manage?
Customers that are using our Noki Smart Entry system can range anywhere from 100 or a few hundred units to, I think our largest customer right now has about 3,300 units that they've implemented using our Noki Smart Entry system. So it really runs the gamut from small facilities to large facilities.
That's great. Is there a limit to how much you can handle?
3,300 units is a lot of units. I think the largest facility in the world, if I'm not mistaken, is in New York City and has about 6,000 units. in that facility, that is not a problem for us. Theoretically, there's really no limit, but I'm not sure we have too many self-storage facilities that are going to be more than 2, 3, or even 6,000 units. So we're comfortable in facilities up to that size and beyond.
Sure, that's great. My next question, how do your services for self-storage differ from other business types that you currently work with?
Well, that's an interesting question. Our focus from a Janus perspective is mostly on the self-storage industry. Most of our revenue comes from the self-storage industry. We do have some business, like with our commercial doors, that is outside of self-storage. But maybe I can kind of re-swizzle that question a little bit and talk about how we differentiate what we're doing in the self-storage industry. First of all, we have installers that are out in the field that are actually installing these products that work for or directly with Janus International, which is a big differentiator for us. Secondly, a couple years ago, and now it looks like we had a lot more foresight than we did at the time, we put regional offices in across the country. So we actually have regional construction managers with project managers, site auditors, and even our Noki specialists that are now out in the field and can get to within their region very quickly, and even in times like this can get to facilities where others may not. And then I think our technical support historically in the self-storage industry, whether it's property management software or access control, most of the companies that are providing those solutions have either provided a limited number of days and hours that they provide technical support, or they don't allow to have direct access to their technical support people. And we felt like we've got to change that dynamic, and we've got a solution that provides us the ability to do 24/7 technical support. So I realize that wasn't your original question, but hopefully that answered the question as I defined it.
No, I appreciate you re-sizzling. I love that term that you used. My next question, do you have any success stories from anyone that's implemented this current system?
We've got lots of success stories, and in presentations that I've done at conferences and trade shows and webinars, I've shared a lot of them. I think the one that maybe I'll just share one given our time today. And this is one I haven't really talked about before. This is actually a facility that's in Florida. And as I was sharing previously, they do their website and their property management are with StoreEdge, and then their access is the Noki Smart Entry system. They did a new construction facility from the ground up facility. I think it has somewhere between 800 and 900 units. It is a fully climate controlled facility. I think they maybe have 8 or 9 units that are on the outside. And they opened about 18 months ago. They're north of 50% occupied right now. And let me give you some data from them. They currently are generating about $2 a square foot for their climate controlled self-storage. And the 3 to 5 mile competitors that they have right now are getting about $1.53. So almost a 50 cents per square foot increase in their revenue. Now we can't take all the credit for that. They've got a beautiful facility, great location, but the facility is fully automated using our Noki Smart Entry system, and all of their customers have the ability to access the facility and their individual units using our their mobile, their smartphones, or a wireless Bluetooth key fob. They also, clearly are getting more for their rentals up front, and then they have been using revenue management to increase their rentals over time. So we think just another example of a facility and an operator that's getting a premium for our Noki Smart Entry system.
That is awesome news and results. I love it. My final question is just a quick one. What's the process like to get started with Janus?
You know, we like to make it really easy for our customers, and I think most people that have been in the self-storage industry likely know their local Janus rep, and regardless if that Janus salesperson is in new construction or our retrofit business, which we call R3, or a Noki Smart Entry System specialist, they just need to reach out to them, and they're all familiar with that product and can help them in terms of consultative selling on how they can implement this, whether it's new construction, an addition or expansion, or a retrofit. Or if they aren't familiar with their Janus salesperson, they can certainly submit an inquiry online, and they should expect that someone will follow up with them within a day or two.
Great. Thank you so much for all this information, Terry, and thank you everyone out there for joining today's webinar. If you have any questions following the webinar, you may direct them directly to Terry Bagley at terryb@janusintl.com. If you want any information related to this webinar or upcoming events, you can visit www.thesboa.com. Thanks everyone, and have a great day.